Hi, everybody. This is Dolores Miller. I design on the Oddball Art Company design team for Lizzie Love. And today I wanted to show you something I think would be a lot of fun. And for those of you that have often said to me, you don't know how to color your images, and we all get stuck on that too. Believe me, it's my nightmare sometimes. So I just want to show you a technique that I didn't come up with this idea. I saw them use it on the neon crowns, and I got to thinking, why couldn't I use them with my colored pencils? So I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing. We're going to do the oddball image we're using is called Annie Doll by Lizzie Love, and this is how she turned out. She's old. I made her look old and like an antique doll because that's what she reminded me of. You don't have to do that. It's your choice, whatever you want to do. And the things that you'll need for this are your any kind of watercolor pencils. They don't have to be expensive. They can be your cheaper ones. I've tried it with every brand. I have several, and it works perfect. The most important thing you have to have is Liquitex matte medium. Okay, and then of course your paint brushes, whatever you're comfortable painting with. If you're more comfortable with the angle brush, use an angle brush. And I use the black carbon pen for the outlining of the eyes and the white for the eyes, the whites of the eyes and the highlights. Okay, so that is basically it. And then I use this Play-Doh thing, which at the end it'll dry up like this, and then you just take your little paper piercer and you just pop it underneath, and it'll peel right off. So it'll clean off every time. Okay, and what I do is I put all my paints, my stuff into these little bottles so that I'm not opening, shutting this and it going bad. So to get started, I'll get mine out and I'll just put very little, you know, because you don't want to put a lot because it will dry up on you. Okay, move all this. And what I did is I went ahead and I started coloring. Let me put this cardboard underneath it so you can see. I went ahead and started coloring her because I'm not going to show you how to do the whole image. I just wanted to show you the technique. Okay, so I went ahead and I filled in her whole face with my Sicilian yellow, and then I moved on, and then I used my pink color, caramel pink, and then I used baked earth. And what I did is I colored in all the yellow and then very little on the outside because it goes a long ways. So basically you want to wet your paintbrush, and all you're doing when you're coloring on here is you're just basically this. If you want to go back and you want to create shadows like I did on mine, you'll come back in and add another layer. But do it in layers so that you know when to stop. Okay? So, and what I do is I just spray a little water on my mat here, dip it in the water, and then I come to my glue, my Liquitex matte medium, and then you want to wipe it off because if you used to go straight onto the paper like this, it would be soaking wet. And I like to, the first time when I start is to condition the brush a little bit more. And then after that, you just have to do less. So basically, I start in the middle of her face, and I start working it in. And you don't, if you go outside the lines, don't worry about it, because as you're going in and working it, you can start getting rid of, if you feel you got too much, you can bring it off. Just come off to the side, wipe it off, and go up there, and because sometimes it'll go a little heavy, and you don't want it that heavy. And the good thing is, and each time you'll add, and if you change colors, you will definitely want to wash out your brush in between. But if you're using the same color, you don't have to. Just keep in mind, don't get really soaking wet. And then as this dry, it makes a texture like leather. And it just makes it, for people that really have a hard time doing them, that they feel like you can control it more. And because a lot of us just, let's face it, painting faces, I'm new at that. I'm learning it every day. I'm not on here to say I'm an expert or anything. I just want to show you a new way to do something that you might not have done before. And as you see, I'm just working it in. Now see, I like this part darker, so I'm just going to bring it down because that's her cheeks. And see where, if it's too dark, I can come back and rinse my brush out, wipe it, come back and wipe it right off. Now this is not watercolor paper, this is just your basic Georgia Pacific paper that I tell everybody about all the time from Walmart. And it will hold up, you know, not great deals of water, but it will get you pretty much through this part. And see how she's just coming along. And then when I do her lips, I don't go and color her lips. I just take from her lips and then I put the color onto the cheeks. Okay. And then afterwards, when you're done painting her and you want to add more, you can come back and add more on top. You can use your Faber-Castells and highlights and add your shadows. It's just however far you want to go with this. If you think this is too rosy for you, you know, use a separate brown and a burnt umber, whatever color you like. I tend to like grungy looking and darker. I tend to stick with those colors. But as you see, she's, you know, it's nothing to it. I think this is the most easiest painting you will ever do, and you will feel very comfortable doing this because it really doesn't take any special skills. You just got to remember less water to even out your glue. When you're going and you see it's too dark, immediately go and take it off because you do have a little bit of playtime. But as you can see, and if I wanted to go back and darken her or say, I'm going to clean this off just a little bit. There's a little speck on her mouth there that I went too high up on, and you just come in there and it will wipe it right off. See? Okay. And her eyes. Since my brush was clean, I might as well go ahead and do that. And then over here where I got on the eyeball with the pink color, it's no big deal because you can come in here and again, it will wipe it right up. Just a little bit of glue, a little bit of water, and it'll take it right off. Okay. And then her outfit. You see how I'm getting a little bit of red there? You're just going to go up there, wipe it off on your side because you're going to cut these cards out. But if you're not going to cut them out, don't do that. Get a piece of scrap paper and do it. But I always cut my images. So, because I don't have a lot of hand control. So I have to improvise what works for me. Okay. And as you can see, and then with that spot that's in the middle, I'll come back in here and get some glue. And then I want to bring this down just to, so it ain't a bright white. And it gives her a shadow. But basically, that's how I color my images with the Liquitex matte medium. And here it is done with the neon crayons. You would just color it in. This is neon, and you would just come in here, color it just like this. And then you would come in with the glue and do the same process. And you can layer until you like it. And like with her, I did a little darker. And it's a lot of fun to play with. And don't be afraid to just grab some watercolor pencils. Use them, you know, cheap ones that don't have to be expensive, because using the Liquitex glue is going to add value to your paint, whatever you choose to use. And it's going to look awesome. And when you feel the texture of this, it kind of reminds you of tapestry oil painting. It's really cool. And I hope y'all enjoyed this short little video, and you give this a try and let me know if you like it, and have a blessed day.